Good morning everyone. Welcome to your English class. Today we will do the explanation of Unit 11, The Little Mechanic, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Ranks among Nathaniel Hawthorne ranks among America's major authors. His novel, The Scarlet Letter, is considered to be a masterpiece of American literature. Hawthorne also wrote short stories, one of the collections being Twice Told Stories. Now let's begin with the reading of first paragraph of this lesson. When Isaac Newton was born on Christmas Day in 1642 in the village in a small village of Woolsthorpe in England, little did his mother know what he would grow to achieve. Little did she know that he was destined to explain many matters which had been a mystery since the beginning of time. In the very first paragraph of this lesson, it's being told that Isaac Newton was born on Christmas Day in 1642 in a small village of Woolsthorpe in England. At first, no one knew that what he would grow up to be. No one knew that he will be a scientist who will discover and explain many matters which are a thing of mystery for the world. Nobody knew that. Para number 2. Isaac was left in the care of his grandmother from the time he was a small boy. She was very kind to him and sent him to school even when he was very young. Isaac was very skilled in mechanics. He had a set of little tools and saws of various sizes that he had fashioned by himself. With the help of these, Isaac tried to make many curious objects. In the second paragraph, it's being said that when he was just a young boy, he was sent to his grandmother's place for his schooling. Even in his childhood, he was a skilled mechanic. It's being told here that he was a skilled mechanic at his childhood also. He even had a small kit of tools which he himself designed, and with that small kit of tools he used to make different objects which were very strange and unusual. Para number 3. The neighbors looked at the wondrous things which Isaac manufactured with great admiration, and his old grandmother was never weary of talking about her grandson. He'll make a capital workman one of these days, she would say. No fear but what Isaac will do well in the world. Para number 3 says that his neighbors used to admire his wonderful inventions, and his old grandmother used to feel proud talking about her grandson's work. She used to say that there is no doubt that Isaac will do something very good in the world one day. Para number 4. It is amusing to imagine what anticipation Isaac's grandmother had others formed about the things he might make in later life. Some of them perhaps thought he would make beautiful furniture and sell it to rich people. Others thought that young Isaac would become an architect and would build splendid mansions and churches too, with the tallest steeples that had ever been seen in England. In para number 4, it's being told that Isaac's grandmother and others had much expectation from him. Some people thought that he would make beautiful furniture, while others thought that he would become an architect and would make splendid mansions and churches which would have tallest steeples. What are steeples, students? Steeples are pointed towers which are rising above a church. It's being said that some people thought that he would become an architect, and he will build splendid mansions and churches with tallest steeples, which the people in England would have ever seen. Para number 5. Some of her friends no doubt advised Ishak's grandmother to send him for training to a clockmaker because, besides his mechanical skills, the boy seemed to have a taste for mathematics, which would be very useful to him in clockmaking. Indeed, there was every reason to believe that Ishak would become a clock manufacturer. He had made a kind of clock that nobody had ever heard of before. It was set to work not by wheels and weights like other clocks, but by the dropping of water. This was an object of great wonder to all the people in the Woolsthorpe. In para number 5 and 6, it's being told that some of grandmother's friends advised her to send him to a clockmaker's shop so that he could get training, because he seemed to have interest in mathematics which would help him in making clocks. It was believed that he would become a great clock manufacturer at that time. He made a clock that would work by dropping of water, which was of great wonder for other peoples, because in those days uh, clocks were made which would work through wheels and weights somehow, but he made a different kind of clock which used to work through dropping of water. It filled everyone with great wonder. Now, para number 7. Besides the water clock, Ishak made a sundial. Now, what is a sundial, students? Sundial is a device that indicates time with the help of a shadow whose position changes as the sun moves across the sky. So, it's being said here that besides water clock, Ishak also made a sundial. Now, his grandmother was never at a loss to know the time. The water clock would tell the time in the shade and the sundial in the sunshine. Para number 7 says that besides the water clock, he made a sundial which facilitated everyone to tell the time in the shade and in the sunshine both. That's all for today, dear students. Thank you and have a good day.